the palette and the holes. So yes, as you can see, despite the fact that this says Roll-Chan World, this is in fact a hack of the US version for some reason. I don't know what the differences are. This was pretty impromptu, this idea, so I didn't exactly come in with a lot of preparation. Probably looking played this. Maybe they just played the NES. Yeah, this is basically a remix. You start out, you got four different robot masters. The first ones are from Mega Man 1, so let's go with Cutman. So yeah, there actually were 3 different outfits you can get. This one here, which is based on her original design. And, huh. You know what, I practically feel like, yeah, our reset isn't. You could also choose Mega Man 8 or Mega Man 11. I just decided to go with the original because that would be the most visually era. Let's say, let's hope I didn't respawn that, but then I in fact. That whole going to get health was a... Also, I'm wondering how you jump up there. Like, is there a magnet beam? Is there something else? I don't really know much about this game. Conventions that would be established for later ones in this particular sub-series. Ah, come on. Ah, okay. I'm gonna keep going with this one. I don't know where the checkpoints are. Yeah, I figured there wasn't a checkpoint, but I'm not gonna reset every time I die on the very first stage. I mean, I figure this would be where they would expect you to start, given that Cutman is a very easy starting point in... kind of there. I don't know how many of these Roll-Chan hacks actually applied. I know there's one for every NES game and for the Famicom D-Make of 7. I don't... Ah! We're moving way too fast. Ah, okay, my hitbox. Close. Either, but that's fine, we tanked through it. It does feel like there's a slight delay in terms of when your jump back. press. Not that noticeable in the Mister, but definitely is there, and I do think that is just something from the original. Those things take way too many hits. For a simple obstacle enemy, then you're gonna just... I don't know, like, what you need to do to get up to higher elevation. We do not have any items. Okay, I'm gonna try, Hutman once again. If not, I might try a different stage. They might be expecting you to get something else going into. I don't think that works, but it seems at least helpful, to have another item. That's just damage boost there. Should not worry about taking it out. Oh no! You say I figured out this part. Yeah, once you get to like here and they start just increasing that rolling enemy. There's just no point in fighting some of these, especially the ones that actually are on the... Can I say, is this how far I've made it? But no, I've definitely made... Right where I stood. Oh, okay, I was getting close. I don't think that's a checkpoint either. No, it is. Okay. You know what? I feel kind of motivated because I feel like I can kind of figure out this part of the level. There, I got lucky. Somehow I stood in a place that actually helped me just... I guess the problem is I want to jump, and sometimes it doesn't feel like my jumps are coming out quickly enough. Okay, one more try with this stage, and then I might just try a different... I'm thinking about the original NES Mega Man 1 have passwords at all. Not sure if that was something in... second game. I know the first one certainly had unlimited continue, and then your score just reset, but score didn't really. That wasn't something they kept later on for good reason. No one really cares about score in the Mega Man platform. Hi Kefki, it's good to see you here. We are struggling through some Roll-chan. Come on, move. Oh, okay. Are you static? Well, that does actually make things a bit easier. Okay. Yeah, if that one is not gonna move. Hey, hello? Live 2D? Okay. Why were you. Not sure why you were being weird over there. Yeah, at least it isn't, Mega Man 2. I think we figured out who was actually contracted out, that it might have been, Thinking Rabbit. Kind of a weird company to put for your platformer, but Capcom has always, wanted to make as money as possible. Because, yeah, the only known credit we have, like, there's no actual credits, just the usual enemy roll call, like they have, and pretty much everyone except the Wonder Swan, Rockman, and Forte game. Yeah, okay, your big danger comes from jumping into it. No, Capcom did not make that. I don't remember what the exact name of the original developer was for this. Wachi Engineering? Something very similar to that. As I mentioned earlier on, the stream has like no preparation. I kind of decided on a whim and then... So yeah, so the second one was made by Thinking Rabbit. For a while, it was assumed that perhaps it was... I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought it was being asked something. So yeah, some people thought it was this other company called Biox, who would later become Japan System House. It makes some decent games there, but can't seem to find any connected thing, and the only staff member on second Game Boy game that we do have any credit for is the composer, who is not responsible for the sound driver, by the way. Probably have a feeling we know who made the sound driver. They were definitely contracted out for... Ah! Okay, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna try a different stage. Let's try Elect Man. So that composer had done some work for Thinking Rabbit, who was occasionally contracted out by IREM also to produce some Game Boy games. So that's how we can probably guess that it was indeed them. They also did do some work for JSH. I think with... Oh, you can't... Okay, let me just study the pattern. There. Okay. Doesn't look like there's... I thought I had the timing down. Okay. That one's simple, at least. Okay, so this looks like it's a different count. It also looks like this block might like do something to you, but no, it's just normal block. You can stand it out as long as you like. And but yeah, I think then they went back to the original developer. I see this. More of a physics challenge. Come on now. Some frustrating level design. I do think the Game Boy games got better as we went along. I'm kind of forgetting how. But yeah, it was only really until like 3 or 4 that people say they got really good. Those are definitely, certainly more comparable to the previous games, certainly aesthetically. That's feeling a bit tighter than it needs. Fortunately, without any kind of items. Ah! That's a problem, is you get hit and then you just get like completely knocked through here, so. Okay, there we go. And yeah, based on the way everything's structured, it doesn't look like I'll have to deal with that section again. Kind of my fault, these Susies are not tough to deal with at all. Well, I might have eaten my own words now. Yeah, it looks like I have to start all the way back here, but we've figured out where. Let me see, yeah, these, at least this section of the stage, the obstacles are very simple. At least it doesn't knock you off, because that could well result in a chain reaction. That could send me all the way back. Oh no! I just kind of fell on the block, and then I kind of slipped off there. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Because of the way the bot works, Petra, I actually had to define a... actually had to define just how many parameters I can give it. And... okay. I put up to 3. Maybe this one level isn't enough either. And I can keep on resetting. That's. Yes, you can certainly pet the kitty. In fact, it's very encouraged here. You can probably tell. Ah! Thank you for the pet. Yeah, that's the problem, is I completed this part once and then I just died to this. It could happen again if I manage to actually conquer this part. Okay, should I switch to... No, let's continue, once here. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the, disappearing blocks. They're vehicle blocks, as Western fans tend to call them, but I have a feeling that is almost entirely, Ow. I don't even know what happened there, but I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna reset. I have a feeling that all just originated from one creator, from his OC, Megaphil X, who eventually would create a popular fan game a few years later, Mega Man Unlimited. And I think also had a Yoku Man. I don't even know. Oh, the best left. I don't even know where the what the Japanese term is. Anyway. Oh, right. That was the one stacked on top of the other, which is a pretty common design. In the NES game, they're both on a Elecman stage and an Iceman stage. I don't know necessarily how much it holds true, but... Iceman stage is certainly the harder one, which makes sense since that's also where you get the magnet beam on Elecman stage. So... I was jumping there, my jump didn't come out in time. Oh, you could also jump directly onto the ladder, right? Don't know how I wasn't able. Okay. I think, yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out the timing there, so... Usually should not be much of a problem, they only become a problem. Okay, now I'm going from the peak of my jump. Okay, there we go. Don't want that help with it. Huh. Everything takes a lot of hits in this game. Like, this is all you have. Like, this is before 3 and 4th. There's no... Well, particularly it's before 4th. Oh, hi. Hi, airman enemy. I can appreciate you. Even if you can't quite throw things off into a time. Whoa! Fel, thank you so much for the gift subs. Got distracted there that I didn't even see the, yeah, I really appreciate that. Hope you enjoy, Spitfire Lead, Ori, and Jenin. I also don't know why at least for me, it's playing down over there, but for whatever reason, my stream element's overlay. I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point later. Might not even hear a notification noise, because that could just only be coming out from my desktop audio. This one, it looks like... got right, left... It was like practically a non-challenge. I'm not even sure why they needed to put that part in that level. Like, yeah, I don't think the developer here really quite got a grasp on Mega Man level 9. There's some various related challenges that we're gonna throw at you. That's what it feels like, just compared to some of the more refined Mega Man level design that it did in the actual Capcom games by this. Like, some of it I could definitely see there. I can definitely see, like, the way, okay, now we're remixing certain things that don't need together, but other times it feels like we're gonna put the same obstacle, but in a different way that isn't really any harder. And that's gonna... Huh. Huh. Okay, this is still following by very early Mega Man rules, where you can just... What? I did not think I was touching that. But at least we do have a checkpoint here, right before the, these Onis. I don't remember what their actual name is. They're very similar, but not quite the same. Right there, they throw it in, parabolic arc here, just really straight. I guess they couldn't program in, yeah, throwing arc, or maybe it wasn't a room on. Okay, it looks like they did go by the 3 lemon rule. There, then it's here, and then it's gonna be slightly to the left there, which is actually, yeah, where it's. So yeah, I don't think that was formally introduced until 4, or maybe it was 3, because this game, I'm pretty sure, was, yeah, 4 was late 91s. Pretty sure this game came up before actual NES 4 did. What? Oh, the fan, right. No! Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time, and then we'll see a different stage. I at least make some progress in this game at the time. We reach the others. Last time I have to stop. Yeah, this is that one. So yeah, I think the trick to that room is just to get the timing for when the blocks. Take like 5 hits. Not a good move on my part. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think for this one, yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, the one Susie witnessed though. Hey. I don't know if this has Mega Man 1 spike rules. I doubt it, but... Like, I think... What? How did I overshoot that? I am really confused right now. Ah. I think that just completely threw me off there. Okay. Like, actually, you know, we can kind of get this room as like, okay, we're gonna be introducing a guy with a fan, but... Then we also got this room, which is easier than some of the other Susie rooms that we've been. Okay. So there is no, like, bug. I think it's called a bug, but I'm not sure if it was... Maybe it was intentional that, yeah. You don't get invincibility falling into spikes, because spikes, are calculated as a different form of damage. Other enemies and obstacles were. Right, this is where I... Oh, I thought there would be electricity. Yeah, thank you for the pets, Petra. I thought there would be like electricity popping out of those blocks, but no. That does make this room kind of easier. We down the ups. Okay. I guess after some height, you are able to still catch us. You're not gonna completely fall down the. Huh. I could go into these rooms and try to farm for health, but it was really worth. I'll do it once. Ah! I can't tell when it shows the big eye taking damage and when it... You weren't really a luck man, you were more running into me, man. Oh, I've got no lives left. I don't have any other way of moving around. But yeah, it doesn't look like he jumps until you do. You also do have to jump. Or at least until you shoot. Okay, I'm gonna continue to try this once more. Hopefully get through all the annoying parts of the stage. Does not look like there were any extra lives dropped at all in the level. Thank you for the pet, sorry. Hey. Ah, no! Okay, I should have just damage boosted that, but... Ah, and that didn't work regardless. Oh, yeah, I guess about no lies, I might have to farm in that one room if I make it there. Okay. You know what? Let's just try a different state. And they immediately start you with the worst enemy in the game. Laters. It's like one of the worst enemies in Mega Man 1. You can constantly get out of your way. I think the screen crunch actually helps us a bit. Fortunately, the ice physics. Yeah, see? Having less screen real estate actually helps him. Oh. Hi, Nicole! Good to see you here. Welcome. Doing well. Specifically, Rockman World 1, do you think? Fortunately, I don't think those come back when you die. I'll just... I think the ices are just smaller blocks, but we have ice physics applied to the snow! All the sprite flickering kind of stopped me there. Somehow we already have a checkpoint here. Hello, weird toothpaste dispenser. I can't technically defeat you, but it's... Ah, what in the world is going on here? Like... Ah, look up... Okay, I am going to be back in a couple of minutes. Have another break now. Alright, I hope everyone enjoyed that break. So let's worry. Oh yes. We're in this flickering mess of are those kind of blocks. I wasn't sure if I made that, honestly. Because, yeah, just look at how slippery these are. Like, if you are moving at all, you will be moving a large number of steps right after... Oh! Okay, let me retry this. I was at least getting somewhere. Yeah, by the way, you know what's funny? It's hard to tell whether or not those bottom part of the blade is supposed to be a smile or not. I think it isn't, based on what I've seen concept art. I could be misremembering. Yeah. Not having as much screen real estate as you on the NES actually works to your advantage. Since this checkpoint is surprisingly generous, there's really no reason not to ever... Okay, so yeah. Whoa! Finally! For once we've gotten... I think the first time this entire game we've gotten extra life. So yeah, these blocks are normal because they're... But yeah, you have to be very careful on your time. This does indeed make the hardest jump in Mega Man angle. I'm not sure if this is quite what Xander calls the hardest jump in Mega Man, but you do have a feeling. And then that's where you have to jump from that. Yeah. I somehow ended up short hop. And there I jumped off too late. I should have just climbed back up. Ah! Okay, I think I know what the problem was there. The problem was that, like with a lot of platformer games, you temporarily lose control when when a platform suddenly moves down vertically. So you can't actually perform any action until you're once again making contact with the, Let's just responded to those lies quickly. You're once again making contact with the grounds. Ah! Like, I just slid off completely. You move very far. On just one sec. Oh yeah, you can see, like, it is hard to stop yourself, and I think that is intentional. Annoying thing to have to deal with. These ice physics in particular, or some of the other ones, either the mainline Mega Man games or platformers that also have them. No! Okay. That was my fault. I, like, completely forgot what was going up there. So, you know what? I do feel like trying this one again. Oh, Jackie Tetris Lover, it's good to see you here. How are you doing? Interesting, yeah. I have not played any Tomb in a long time, and that is because I get sick types of games. Especially old FPS games because, you know, they had smaller resolution, frame rates, and field of view generally. I found even sometimes with more modern first-person games, I will still experience that. But yeah, there's no reason not to get that because that health is literally before a checkpoint. No! Come to the falling platform problem again. No! What even happened there? Like, I can't even blame that because the block wasn't melting, so I don't even know why my jump didn't out. I'm gonna figure out how to do this. Not like that! I was too early there. I was worried that I would just keep on sliding and not do it. So let's try this stage again. I feel like I'm making a bit more progress than I most other runs, with the exception of a Lekman stage, but... There, I couldn't quite figure out the boss pattern yet, at least... and then also there was just too much time where I'd take damage or die. Here, that doesn't seem to me mainly ice platforming challenges. Okay. There? There we go. I think I might have made it even without damage boost. Helped assure me that. Problem is, yeah, you'd have to be pretty exact with your lemons. No! What even happened there? Jumping, and now I have to start all the way back here. Really is just that one. It really is this one jump that's way too tight, but okay. Here. Well, let's just wait. Well, actually, no, it isn't. Very first time, you can't wait. There we go. And you know what's funny? Yeah, these ice blocks do not have any physics, so I might have. Oh, what? Oh, I was holding up there. Okay, that I call shenanigans on. I was definitely holding up, and somehow I did not grab onto that ladder. But as I was saying, yeah. But unlike in... No! Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to figure something. Okay. Ah! I think there the problem was between the enemy and the sprite flicker. My jump input did not. You can clearly tell my difference between. Oh, I realized I made a mistake there, and my reactions to. Oh no, something actually. Whoa. Oh no, I missed it. Well, I can just go back up. I really. Okay, there we go. I don't know where the icicles are gonna be falling from. Over there. But I then get... No, Okay, I'm gonna see what Fireman stage looks like. I'm so used to like having to deal with ice figs, so just not having them now. Weird. We don't like Mega Man is a robot, but technically it was kind of based on Astro Boy, so Mega Man kind of just have a bit of a child's look to him. In fact, I know one of the original names for Mega Man was Rainbow Kid, but then they... And at least those, these bladers are a lot more annoying to deal with. No, I pressed the jump. The whole Rainbow Kid notion comes from the fact that he would be gathering up differently colored weapons and then would change color when you select a weapon. I don't remember what any of the other plan names are, but then they just had to go with the whole music motif. Told him, man. And change that to Mega Man for some reason. Probably, I didn't know why. Maybe because they figured that he wasn't actually related to rock as like a substance in any way. This is a hack that puts roll in, and I think that is all that it does. It's interesting to see them like try to approximate some of the enemies and stage hazards of Mega Man. Oh, come on. And also, I do like that this Sniper Joe is nowhere near as bad as Sniper Joe in the actual Mega Man one. They clearly took the Joe from 2 onward because the one from the very first game will not shoot at all if it's blocking and you're still shooting. It is only, No! I was pressing jump there. It is only if you are, not... Only when you're not shooting they actually remove the shield. Yeah, the funny thing is I never had an original Game Boy, I was too late for that. I didn't actually get on until the GTA for owning my own system. I play and see gameplay from other people's Game Boy Colors file. At least those shots don't do a lot of damage. But yeah, this seems to imply that there's either some kind of item or something else. I think I am gonna go back to a different state. Either Electman or Iceman. Let's just keep on trying Iceman for a while. Yeah, I think the longevity of the original Game Boy is interesting. It does like make me wonder just how long Nintendo had actually planned on getting that in production. Had there been some serious competitors out by the end of the 90s? None that could actually like really break into the market share. It was enough to convince them that, oh yeah, even the Game Boy Color is getting outdated now. Game Boy Advance does have its roots in Project Atlantis. Great with 2-bit handheld back in 1996, but not sure what the exact specs of that. What parts were at all incorporated into later ones. Nintendo seemed quite happy to sell different models of the quite a while. Oh no. It was kind of the same thing with the Famicom too, like the Famicom disk system was definitely an attempt in I think it might have just been based on Hudson's own ideas for a successor console that would overcome the original limitations. But then once Maverick chips started coming out, and a lot of companies just started releasing games for it, they were really that concerned until Hudson actually released the PC Engine with NEC, and then realized, because yeah, it wasn't until 1988, which to be fair was 5 years. So 5 years was kind of a generation, but I think that was only when that point had become to be established, because computer generations just tended to be a lot shorter in those days. Like, if you look at Commodore, for example, the time between the VIC-20 and the C64 was 2 years. So... on those, like, they had a similar CPU, and they had similar physical bread boxes on. They did not share anything else architecturally. Yeah, the funny thing is with the Super Famicom, it's hard to tell like what they were considering, because Nintendo was always oops. Yeah, that kind of worked out anyway. Known for supporting that, like the Famicom technically wasn't completely they didn't stop servicing them until 2007, and they didn't stop making okay, yeah, I see it. They didn't stop actually making parts until 2003, which I think they even had like Famicom Disk System rewriter software of it. That's what we're expected to do, yeah. Ah, you took a short hop right when I didn't. Does mean we're quite close. There was a Blader and Sniper Joe, you weren't even in the stage before this. Ah, what are you doing here? Hi, Ramp, yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It is you, and yes, greetings from Germany. I'm not in Germany. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 was on a lot of systems because the license holder for the computer ports is old. To do that. And I am now. Oh, do I have to climb down? Thank you for that, Ori, but I think I will count for. Yeah, no. So yeah, the Famicom Disk System Rewriter kiosk was still in operation until 2003, and stopped making parts. And then I'm gonna continue. Then in 2007, they just like discontinued support completely. I don't think we could really count releasing new software as support. Nintendo's last first party game in Japan was 10 years later. And was that Wario's Woods? I think Wario's Woods was the last first party. And the last third party one was Ironic Beena from Hudson. Adventure Island 4, because they figured, maybe, there will still be kids around who, want to play more Famicom games. What am I doing here? I'm not paying attention. We want to play Famicom games so we can sell a couple dozen thousand units. And I'm not sure if they ever did. But for the Super Nintendo, there were two official, at least Nintendo released other distribution methods late into life. One of them was in 1995, so quite a few years when they were already working on other systems internally. They had a partnership with St. Giga Broadcast Network, and that ended up resulting in the Teleview, which allowed players to download games and other things directly via satellite service. Pretty similar to some of the online and cable broadcast based stuff that was going around with like the X-Band. X-Band was just the player mode. And then there was the Sega Channel, was just in the US. Used cable. And there were some versions, some exclusive games, some of them even had like orchestral music and voice acting, so because there was no way to actually get that, stream that from the cartridge, it just had to be done directly from the broadcast. There are some other interesting things. Then, 2 years after that, in 1997, they had the Nintendo Power rewritable kiosks, and according to one magazine, it might have been because there were still demands to play some Super Famicom games in Japan, but they wanted to make room for the already released in 4. They didn't want Super Famicom games to constantly take up shelves, but I'm not sure if necessarily if that report is true, because game magazine weird about both Japanese games and 2D games. So it might have been like in a mocking way, like, oh, look at these Japanese players, they still want to play their old 16-bit game. I can't necessarily sure. That is correct, but that might have been part of the reason. Yeah, it did also offer cheaper download, but they worked pretty similar to the Famicom Disk System rewriters. You took a special cartridge kiosk, get downloaded. You paid a small fee, and then you download a game onto it, and yeah, last one. was indeed Metal Slayer Glory Director's Cut, which that game has a rather unfortunate and sad history. With Hal banking so much on it, but really by the time they were able to get it out, the adventure genre had moved to more powerful. Now I'm talking about original releases during the lifespans. Technically, yes, they did finish and release Star Fox 2. Oh right, no. Well, that doesn't count any more than Namco officially releasing a version of Pac-Man DX for the NES. Like, yes, those are official games from companies, but I saw what I was supposed to do, and I still could not quite execute it. I am pretty low on health, so... Ah, okay, it always seems to take a short hop when I don't want it to take a short hop. And also, that wasn't even a cartridge release, so technically... Instead of the newer sort of publisher-backed cartridge releases, but those have all been technically as everything from that one to some of the Columbus Circle in Japan or limited stuff in the West. I have my problem with those companies. They did release some new cartridges that were not just reprints of games that had already been available. So yeah, I think Thrashia 776, the Fire Emblem game that was sort of an expansion to the previous one, that was also released on Nintendo Power cartridge. There's some other ones. Was that puzzle game that came out on Switch Online recently? The one with the bird. Is that also Nintendo Power original, or is that a full cartridge? I will have to look. Yeah, I'm not sure when Nintendo officially stopped supporting Super Famicom hardware. Well, before the 20-year threshold. Which is also why, like, I consider the end of a console's life to really be the last official game from the time period, because that is... That is the only way we can rely because hardware support just means that the hardware itself. With the Atari 2600, for example, the last game I think was in 1990. It might have even been Clax. Time for it was the 90s. Time for Clax. All right, don't. Ah. I was holding up, but I might have been late there. That might have been my fault. Or I might have been Mario Warriors, or one of these like very late arcade ports from Imagineering. But then they didn't actually stop hardware support until 1992, so there was still a bit of a. There's still a bit of a gap between when the last official. Certainly, I'm gonna keep trying this stage. Certainly more so with the Famicom. And Nintendo was still making original hardware. Like, they were still making hardware around the time when they were re-releasing these games on Game Boy Advance. How late it was. Yeah, the last official Super Famicom game was in later Glory Director's Cut in. It's not so funny to think about, like, just in terms of Mega Man here, that Rockman and Forte was... But delivery started as such. It started as kind of a... Not sure if it was a complete, port, or if it was just considered to be a similar game that's meant to be for people who couldn't afford a PlayStation or a Saturn. But then it kind of spun out into its own thing. There's even other games do that as well. Just like funny that also this really hard game. There's some assets with Mega Man 8. Very much different. Sonic and the Secret Ring was also like a different project entirely. Like, it originally was based primarily on Sonic 06, which is very weird. This was before that game was released, and they already wanted to make some version of it for the Wii, but then I think they realized they should have more motion. No, I was thinking. I was conflating that with the development of an entirely different game related to Sonic or Sega at all, and shut up myself. Completely my fault for creating the page.
I can't spell you!
Thank you for the, hat curse, Cameron. I hope you heard that sound, at least, that sound effect. It took me a while to trim, but... Like, there's really no other, soundbite I could put in. But yeah, I think I was confusing it with Twilight Princess getting a Wii port because they saw the development of Phantom Hourglass and realized that they needed to incorporate a hardware gimmick. So, okay, let's just make a Wii version and get all motion controlled and then reverse the direction because Link's preferred hand is his left hand, but in on the Wii, most people are going to be using their right hand. Ah, you cutie. Oh! And I was not paying attention. Yeah, I'm just going to restart this. I'm going to do it like 1 or 2 more times. And if I can't get it through, I might stop because... It's certainly fun to play and share my gaming knowledge with you. I'm really not making any progress in this. On the back burner for a long time. Maybe I should go through the actual console Mega Man first time. Those do have better controls and level design generally. Although 6 does input. I think 5 is technically the most stable engine, which is why people have downright added, straight up like added in another functionality, like the air slide or the burst chaser, which speeds everything up, and then the whole Indonesia trilogy, which I should try that at some point. But then even like the double jumper hack, which you know, if you know how she feels about double jumping, I am just gonna... But yeah, new unofficial games come out for old consoles all the time, and some of them are indeed by or on behalf of people for an official company. Sometimes they even are other games that finish a a version that was never actually released, like Mad Stalker. It was originally on the X68000. There was a Mega Drive game that was being developed at the time, and not finished, and then Columbus Circle just took it, and I think it was them. Maybe it was a different publisher. They took it, they finished it, and released. You can buy that version now. And then we have M2, just straight up making new homebrew games as part of collection. Those are always emulated. So CG Lesta 3, for example, or even the very upcoming Salamander 3 that was announced today. I will be, if I do play that, it will definitely be on PC. For on. Okay, oh yeah, so these blocks, right, they don't have any free. It's to them, so I can just... Okay, yeah, I tried to do that, I keep on forgetting that, and then I just kind of jump around. And I messed it up again. I can't actually afford the damage boost. I guess I'm kind of worried about the big eye. I don't know how to deal with big eyes in version. Too late there. Ah! I'm getting my head caught. Healing. Ah, okay. I almost had it, but again, I think I was jumping around too much. I have to remember that those are not slippery, only the floor is. Ah, and I died anyway. All that. Okay. No! I had it there, and then I didn't. I need to stop jumping. See? It's much simpler there. The only problem is now we come across the guy. Ah! Like, I cannot tell how it's going to choose which jump it's gonna make. It might be based on proximity, but in which case then how do I get close enough to actually be able to move under it by the time where I can get under it. I know what I'm saying there. No! I was pressing jump! Okay, I think I'm gonna give this like one more try. Depends on how well I do at this part. I don't even need that health. No! Alright, I jumped too early. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna restart this. It's doing well enough and then it wasn't. Okay. That jump is more stressful than it needs to be, honestly. Don't know why they put such a low ceiling. I'm just so used to, like, correcting myself for the ice physics. That's what shuts me up here, is like, okay, this part is just all regular platform. Need to do anything, and then somehow I slip without my jump, you know? Also, it is kind of funny that your arm, like, technically, because it shoots out of your arm cannon, there's actually some space in between where Sprite is and where it actually comes out. And true for the original Mega Man Sprite as well. In fact, in some games you could just straight up go right up to a Sniper Joe and put your arm directly through his shield. You won't be able to do anything about it, and because your Sprite hurt box is not actually touching it, then you can't do anything. And you're not gonna get hit except by shots. But I don't think I was able to do that in this game, at least not from No! It happened again. Okay, I'm gonna do one... Yeah, I think I am getting a bit tired. Oh, that's annoying. At least that one didn't completely ruin. The question is whether or not. Yeah, okay. Now I realize maybe I could do this. Absolutely. I cannot tell how you actually hit this. Okay, whatever. Ah! Doing so well, and I'm all the way back here. Eh. Ah! I think part of it is my fault. That part up. Okay, yeah, I only managed to damage it once, and I cannot tell exactly why. I don't know necessarily what the actual, criteria. Oh! Okay. Getting somewhere, and then... Yeah, I just slide into a gap because... Okay, I think I am gonna be done here.